In 2025, McLaren has truly made a name for itself, especially with its tire management skills. But there's something about their approach that's raising eyebrows across the grid. The McLaren team seems to have figured out a method that others believe might be on the edge of legality. It's tough to confirm, but there's been growing suspicion about the technology they're using. It's not something new. This tech has been around for a while, but it's drawing attention now, especially since it could explain the unusual cold spots seen on thermal cameras. If McLaren is caught using an illegal method, what could be the consequences? And, even more importantly, could this open the door for other teams to follow suit if it's proven to give a major advantage? There's a lot of buzz in Formula One about McLaren's ability to keep its tires cool during long race stints, setting them apart from other teams. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, has been quite vocal, claiming that the McLaren MCL39 uses water within their tires. Pirelli, the tire supplier, quickly shot this idea down, saying it's practically impossible given the tire regulations. But Horner insists there's proof. According to the data his team collected using thermal cameras, McLaren's brakes might be interacting with the tires in a way that isn't entirely above board. Now, if it's not water inside the tires, what's going on? That brings us to a potential explanation. Phase-changing materials, or PCM. These are substances that absorb and release large amounts of heat as they change states, like from solid to liquid and back again. They're already used in many industries, such as construction, packaging, and electronics, because of their excellent temperature regulation abilities. But in the world of Formula One, these materials could offer McLaren a significant advantage when it comes to controlling tire temperatures. So, how do PCMs fit into the equation? Well, they're likely integrated into the brake drum covers of the car. As you probably know, the brakes on an F1 car can reach mind-boggling temperatures, sometimes up to 1,000 degrees C. This intense heat then transfers to the tires. The key here is that if McLaren is using PCMs, they could be absorbing this excess heat, preventing it from reaching the tires and causing them to overheat. The PCM would absorb the heat and regulate the temperature in a way that benefits the tires during the race. This could explain why McLaren seems to maintain such consistent tire performance, even as the race distances get longer. While other teams struggle to manage tire temperatures throughout the race, McLaren doesn't seem to face the same challenges. The car is fast, the tires stay consistent, and that's a huge reason they've been so competitive. But here's where it gets interesting. McLaren's ability to manage tire temperatures isn't just about keeping things cool on race day. Their impressive performance in qualifying is equally remarkable. It's almost as if their car has an edge that allows it to handle a variety of tire compounds and conditions with ease, something that other teams, including Red Bull, seem to struggle with at times. Lando Norris, McLaren's star driver, has been outspoken about his confidence in the car's performance. His feedback has been positive, with Norris clearly stating that he's finally feeling at ease with how the car is responding, particularly when it comes to tire handling. The ability to manage tires well gives a team a distinct advantage, especially in longer races where tire degradation can make or break a performance. Interestingly, there are traces of this PCM theory in the work of Martin Buchan, an engineer who worked with McLaren in the past. About 8 years ago, Buchan proposed a similar theory about PCM technology. He had hypothesized that using such materials could significantly help in managing the extreme heat generated by the brakes, which would in turn prevent it from transferring to the tires. McLaren could very well be applying these theories to their current car design. What's fascinating about this potential solution is that it doesn't rely on any electronic or moving parts, which means it's completely within the FIA's regulations. The use of PCMs doesn't violate any rules regarding active systems or electronic interventions, which is a huge advantage for McLaren. This is why the team has been so confident in defending their design, even when other teams like Red Bull have questioned its legality. McLaren's CEO, Zak Brown, has been very open about the car's compliance with the rules, suggesting that if any team has concerns, they should challenge it through the proper channels. However, the situation isn't as clear-cut as it seems. If the FIA acknowledges that this technology gives McLaren a clear advantage, they could introduce new regulations to limit its use. This is exactly what happened in the past with certain innovations like the rear wing flexibility, which was once deemed legal until it became a point of contention. Could PCMs be the next point of controversy? It's something the FIA will likely have to investigate thoroughly. On the other hand, McLaren's competitors, like Red Bull, may feel that this type of innovation gives McLaren an unfair edge. And with McLaren's success this season, questions are bound to arise about whether the team is operating within the spirit of the regulations or pushing the limits to gain an advantage. Another factor that could play into this whole discussion is the recent departures from Red Bull. One of the most notable exits was that of Rob Marshall, who was Red Bull's former chief designer. Marshall now leads the engineering team at McLaren, and considering his deep knowledge of F1 design and regulations, his influence could have played a key role in McLaren's current performance. Marshall is known for his ability to operate within the gray areas of the rules, and this expertise could have been crucial in the development of McLaren's car. Red Bull, under the leadership of Christian Horner, has consistently been a dominant force in F1. However, with some of their top engineers now working for McLaren, it raises the question, has Red Bull's loss been McLaren's gain? Could Marshall have brought with him insights or ideas that were never fully explored at Red Bull, potentially leading to the innovative tire management system McLaren is using now? It's worth considering that this shift in talent could have a long-term impact on the competitive landscape of F1. With McLaren improving rapidly and Red Bull's roster shifting, the pecking order could change. The more you dig into the details, the clearer it becomes that McLaren's rise might not be a coincidence. With the right mix of talent, strategy, and potentially groundbreaking technology, they could be setting the stage for a new era of Formula One. Now it's important to consider how the FIA might react to all of this. The governing body has always been vigilant about maintaining fairness across the grid, and if McLaren's tire management solution is proven to be giving them a significant advantage, the FIA could step in. But the big question is whether this innovation will be deemed illegal or just a clever use of technology that pushes the boundaries of what's allowed within the current regulations. The reality is, Formula One is a sport where innovation is key. Engineers are constantly looking for ways to gain a competitive edge, and as long as they operate within the rules, that's what drives the sport forward. The issue arises when a new solution is so effective that it makes others feel like the playing field has been tilted too much. The FIA has a history of tweaking regulations when new technologies or strategies seem to break the mold, so it's possible that they could revisit the current tire management rules if McLaren's strategy proves to be a game-changer. If McLaren's tire management innovation is found to be legal, it could set a precedent for how teams approach future engineering challenges. It would also raise an important question for the entire sport. Is it fair to penalize a team for simply finding a more efficient way to solve a problem that others haven't tackled yet? In F1, it's not about playing by the rules. It's about pushing the boundaries within those rules. That's what has always made the sport so exciting, and that's what will continue to drive its evolution. The debate over McLaren's technology is far from over. As more teams scrutinize the car's design, and as the FIA continues its investigations, we'll likely see more twists and turns in this story. For now, McLaren has earned its place in the spotlight, and whether or not they face any penalties, they've proven that their engineering team is capable of taking risks and thinking outside the box. But only time will tell whether these innovations are here to stay or if they'll be shut down by the governing body. With the upcoming races, we'll be watching closely to see if McLaren can maintain their competitive edge and whether the rest of the grid can catch up. What do you think about McLaren's approach to tire management? Do you believe they've found a loophole, or is this just the result of brilliant engineering? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to check out the video popping up on your screen right now for more insights into the latest in Formula One.